Hello， 大家好，我是丸子 Tina，Welcome back to my channel。雅思考试呢正在陆续开始恢复啦，我想很多同学们呢都等不及赶快去考试，然后进一步申请自己心仪的大学了。之前呢我成立了3个进步群，非常感谢大家这么捧场，现在呢3个群都满员了。然后呢就有非常厉害的神仙小伙伴们告诉我们听雅思口语的新的话题，5到8月份有哪些。那今天这个视频呢我就会做一个新话题的示范。首先呢我会demonstrate一些地点类的话题，一共有3个新话题，我们看一下可以怎么样说吧。Talking about a place damaged by pollution, I have to say with my deepest regret, it's the place I used to love going for a nice summer retreat, and that's Phuket in Thailand. I guess a lot of people would like to go to Phuket because they want to embrace the untouched wilderness, sunbathe on the pristine white sand beaches, and have a dip in the cool ocean water. That was the Phuket I knew when I first went there about 7 years ago. But last time I went there, which was about 3 years ago, I could see the Phuket I knew no longer existed because of heavy pollution and over-commercialization. So I booked a hotel along the Patong beach, which is one of the most famous beaches in Phuket, thinking I could gain easy access to the beach. So when I put on my luggage, ready to rush out to frolic and have some fun, I couldn't help but notice that the beach was dotted by a lot of plastic bottles and packages. And to be honest, there was such an obscenity. It was almost like a foreign invasion into this very nice paradise. Of course, for such a gem-like place, it deserves to be known, it deserves to be publicized. And I believe the locals also welcome tourism to boost up their economy. But what we cannot forget is, while developing tourism, we should conserve and protect the environment to the best of our abilities, because that's the very reason why the tourists are attracted here. They come here to enjoy the scenery, not those commercial activities. But understandably, that's the struggle for a lot of places. When they want to develop themselves, very often they develop at the expense of the environment. And I always feel sorry for those beautiful places because once they're made known, their environments start to deteriorate. So I guess to prevent this from happening or to restore the environment, both the locals and the tourists have to play a part. For the locals, they should consider the maximum capacity of the environment. So they shouldn't over-commercialize and shouldn't overdevelop tourism. And for tourists, perhaps they should be more environmentally conscious so as to conserve the environment and leave the beautiful place undisturbed. So talking about a building where I enjoy staying, I would say definitely it's my residential building where I live, work, and work out. Since the quarantine measures were implemented, I've been spending most of the time working from home. Even though now some of the measures have been lifted, I still spend over half of the day working at home. So my residential building is one that has different facilities. On the 2nd floor, for example, there is a common area where there is a gym, some table tennis equipment, a dancing room, some private piano rooms, and sauna, and also there's a reading zone with some massage chairs. Sometimes I will go downstairs to enjoy myself and work out. But of course, the most important area in this residential building is my home. I like staying at home because I can work conveniently. There is a workstation in the living room, and that's the go-to spot for me whenever I need to concentrate. Because once I enter the zone, I feel that, I could better concentrate, I should be more productive. And coincidentally, during this period, I read a book called Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. The book discusses how we can form good habits and get rid of the bad ones. And one of the epiphanies I got from the book is how our environment can be very important in our habit formation. So in order to create a work-conducive environment, I redesigned my living room, and I also redesigned my workstation. So now everything I need is put in a very organized manner on my workstation in the way I want. So whenever I start working, I can concentrate, I can work at my maximum capacity. And in our building, every apartment has a balcony, and mine happens to look out to the ocean. So whenever I feel tired, I would like to go out on the balcony and look away to enjoy the scenic view outside. And especially around sunset, the evening glow is just stunning, and I feel so recharged and so refreshed whenever I go out to enjoy such beautiful views. So yeah, that's the building I like. It's the place where I live, work, and also enjoy myself. So talking about culture I'd like to know more about, I'm actually quite curious to know more about the Japanese culture. It feels so close, yet so far. Actually, the Japanese culture and the Chinese culture have a lot in common. But at the same time, because of the different trajectories of development of these two countries, what started as something similar became quite different in the end. So I would like to refer to two examples. One is their politeness culture. The Japanese politeness culture is famous around the world. No matter if you have been to Japan or not, I think you must have heard about how polite and courteous they are, especially to foreigners. Whenever I go to Japan, I'm always impressed by how well I am received at different shops and restaurants. They will just keep bowing at you whenever you make a request, or when you ask them for help, they will just be very polite and reply to you in a very courteous manner. Sometimes, even though they're just talking on the phone with somebody else, they will still keep bowing as if the person is right in front of them, which I think is quite interesting. But then some people say that this politeness culture is only superficial. They may act very politely to you, but they may think otherwise. So I would like to know more about their real intention or their genuine mentality behind. Another example is their dining culture, which, according to some people, is the reason why they have such low obesity rate and longevity in Japan. So we know that Japanese dining culture is very unique. It has a unique place in the culinary world, and their diet mainly consists of fish, right? The seafood. Actually, I think for the authentic dining culture, they are actually quite particular about the ingredients they choose, like what goes with what. Like the whole dining ritual can be very sophisticated. So I think it would be also interesting to know more about what they eat, what kind of food they deem as precious and important, and what is their, ordinary diets like. So yeah, I think it will be interesting to know more about the Japanese culture in general. 好，那我的示范呢就已经做完啦。其实呢就是即兴的一些发挥，然后中间有一些卡顿的地方呢，是因为可能有一些噪音的影响啊，或者是自己舌头打结了，然后中间卡一卡。但是呢是没有经过这个写 script 这个阶段的。那我大致上分析一下这3道话题，我们可以怎么样去切入。第一个呢讲的是 a place affected by pollution。那这个 pollution 呢其实有很多方面，有噪音、有水、有空气等等，我们只需要抓住一个点就可以了。这边呢，我的建议是大家可以尽量找到一个准确的污染类型，进而加以说明。这样子呢，我们越具体，其实呢越容易发挥。第二个呢，这个地方最好是我们非常熟悉的。其实你要想想，在现实生活中呢，这个地方可能未必是真的很被污染，但是如果你对这个地方熟悉的话，你就有话可说。那这个呢，也是我们考试当中的一个技巧。第二个话题是一个你喜欢待在里面的建筑物。那这个建筑物呢，当然是最容易说是家里啦，因为家里你比较熟悉这个环境嘛。可是呢，如果你家的建筑物没有什么一些特别功能的话呢，那似乎也是比较难说的。所以呢，我建议大家可以发挥一下想象力，比如说把你的建筑物说成是有不同的功能的，这样子一来呢，你就可以有几个方面去切入了，可以有工作、有学习、有休闲。另外呢，这个建筑物必须是比较容易描述的。如果你讲一个比较有代表性的一个历史建筑物的话，那大家都知道，那你这时候你就给自己设了一个陷阱，就很难去描述它了。所以呢，最好是一些不是说特别出名，不是说所有人都知道长什么样的建筑物，这样子你可以有一个发挥的空间。第3道题是一个你想去了解更加多的外国国家或者是文化，这个呢也是一样，我们不要真的去想我哪个文化我想去了解。比如说我自己说真的，我很想了解尼泊尔的文化，可是因为我对它真的是一无所知，我说不出什么所以然，所以呢我会选一个我自己稍微有一点点了解，可是呢了解不是特别透彻的文化，那就选了日本的文化了。因为日本呢我去过蛮多次了，可是确实日本文化不是说你去几次旅游就可以知道的很清楚的，所以呢，一来我有话可说，我可以把我自己知道的去 offer 出来；二来呢，我也可以对他提出一个相应的一个疑问，并且说出我更加想知道他文化的哪些方面。这样子呢，你的内容既丰富又真实啦。